Episode 9 is set to include a total of 8 new characters in this story by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, I will say that's one aspect of Episode 9 that I'm very curious about right now, is exactly how J.J. Abrams is going to use all of these new characters and whether or not they're going to take away a lot of the screen time from some of the main characters, like Luke, Leia, Lando, and of course Kylo Ren and Rey. Now, what's really intriguing has all to do with the new villain and/or one of the new villains in Episode 9, since there will be 2 of them in this movie. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with the new villain in Episode 9. Now, what's really intriguing about this mystery character in Episode 9 is that it's described that one of the new villains in Episode 9 will be a part of the big revelation in the film that will hold many inspirations from Star Wars Legends. It's described that the new villain in the film is based on a Legends character that will be used in a way that will change the characters of Kylo Ren and Rey. It's described that this character will redefine the idea of Star Wars being about the light and the dark, and is going to introduce a whole new and third medium to the basic concept of good versus evil. It is also said that this new villain and who is associated with it plans to create new future Star Wars movies and TV series. So what's really intriguing about this are a couple of different things about this new villain in Episode 9, and how it's going to open up new possibilities of films and TV series after Star Wars Episode 9. But before I get to that, what's really interesting to me is how this new villain is actually going to be a part of one of the big revelations at the very end of the movie. So we do know that this new villain is going to be an important part of the plot within the second and third acts of Episode 9, and that this new villain is going to be used as a tool, in a sense, in order to test the character of Kylo Ren as well as Rey in Episode 9. So this new villain, as of right now, what's really intriguing is that we do know that his full name, as of right now, is Vector Ritsu. That's one of the villains, and we have another villain that's actually considered to be a female, which is actually called Samara. So Samara, we're not quite sure on exactly what she's actually going to be, affiliated with in this movie. If she's affiliated with the exact same other villains, such as Vector Ritsu. But as far as this one goes, alright, one of the new villains are going to be associated with one of the big revelations at the very end of Episode 9, and that one of them are going to be based off of a Legends character from the Star Wars franchise. So this also fits directly in with one of the reactions from, I believe it was from one of the crew members that we heard about a couple of months ago, that expressed that this movie is indeed going to have a lot of Legends inspirations. A lot of Star Wars Legends fans are going to love Episode 9. So this new mystery villain is going to be based off of a character based from the EU. Now, the other thing that I find very ambitious of J.J. Abrams is that this new villain is actually said to open up new possibilities for future Star Wars movies and future Star Wars TV series, which leads me to believe, and this is just my belief, that maybe these new villains are coming from the unknown regions, and that's exactly what the Beyond is. So the unknown regions could very well become a new Star Wars TV series, or maybe even the overall area for a new Star Wars movie in the future. So this new villain, like I say, there are 2 of them, these new villains in this movie. We have Samara, and we have Vector Ritsu. So far, those are the real names and/or code names of those characters in this movie, and it has actually been said before in the past that Kylo Ren is going to feel threatened in this movie, and will feel actually vulnerable at a certain point in time in the second and third acts of Episode 9. So what I find very interesting, though, about J.J. Abrams is that he's really trying very hard in order to make this movie a whole lot darker than that of The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi combined. And that, to me, speaks volumes, because if you look at The Last Jedi, the overall aim was to make it as dark as Empire Strikes Back, and that did not turn out to be the case, in my opinion, at least. There was a lot of comedy in there that just did not resonate with a lot of fans. So now with Episode 9 being a darker film than that of The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi combined, I think is something that's going to be very intriguing. I'm starting to wonder on whether or not, this movie is really going to end the arc of Kylo Ren and Rey. and if they ever wanted to pick up on those characters in the future, they could always do that if they wanted to, you know, as a way of insurance. But with this new villain, guys, I gotta say, from what we have been hearing so far, how one of them actually uses a lightsaber going up against Kylo Ren and Rey and doing all this crazy stuff, and how this one in particular is going to be associated with one of the big revelations at the very end of the movie, and is based off of a Legends character, and is also based within a certain spot in the galaxy that is actually going to reach out to future Star Wars movies and/or TV series. So it's kind of like using this as an example. If you look at the Knights of Ren, they were introduced in The Force Awakens and are coming back in Episode 9. Now there's a big rumor about the Knights of Ren having their own TV series. So you can really see where things are starting to go with the Star Wars, you know, franchise as a whole by Disney. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.